behalf of the whole Arab group, so I'm going to kindly ask you for the time necessary to speak on behalf of 22 countries. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, Mr. President, esteemed colleagues, may the mercy, blessings, and peace of God be upon you. Our common humanity is today put to the test. Our moral values are being put to the test. The principles for which the United Nations was built and upon which the United Nations was built are being put to the test. We're facing a spiral of violence, a war based on despair over decades of occupation, injustice, and oppression. Innocent people are being killed. Children are being dismembered. The elderly, women are being killed. Homes are being bombarded. Hospitals with no drugs. A raging war that is razing Gaza to the ground. For this moment, the Security Council was established to apply international law, to maintain peace, to stop the war and violence, to prevent violence, to say that there is no difference between the people, that there is no state above the law, regardless of its might, regardless of its barbarism. But it seems that Israel is above the law. It is violating international law without any deterrent. It is running roughshod over Security Council resolutions. It's building settlements without any consequences. It is confiscating Palestinian land without accountability. It is expelling Jerusalemites from their homes without accountability. And the Security Council didn't even call for a ceasefire in the current war on Gaza, the war that's killing 14 Palestinians, civilians, every hour. It is killing Palestinian women, one Palestinian woman every 20 minutes. It is breaking the heart of parents, of children, whose houses, whose schools are being bombarded every 15 minutes. What would a Palestinian mother say to her child when he asks for water and there is no water? This child, if he survives, would he remember the following sentence, that normally depriving you of food, of medication, is a war crime, but you are Palestinian. That means that the international law does not serve you. Esteemed colleagues, enough with the war, enough with the despair, enough with the oppression, enough with the killing, enough with the violence, and enough with double standards in the application of international law. To our friends that seem to think that they would serve Israel in its war against Gaza, they would think that their humanitarian and legal responsibility towards the Palestinian are being borne by calls, late calls to deliver humanitarian aid to the people in Gaza. To those we say, in all honesty, your position that is supportive of Israel will not serve Israel and will not convince Palestinians. Whoever wants to support Israel would support the end of this war, would support a just and comprehensive peace. Whoever wants to bear their responsibility towards Palestinians must stop any killing of Palestinians, must support just and comprehensive peace, to establish an independent Palestinian state, a sovereign state with Jerusalem, occupied Jerusalem, as its capital along the lines of the 4th of June 1967, so that every Palestinian and Israeli mother would be happy with the smiles on the faces of their children, so that children can hug their parents out of joy, not out of fear. Esteemed colleagues, condemning the killing of Palestinian and Israeli civilians, calling for liberty for everyone is a very important humanitarian position. We have taken this position. Violence is born out of the death of hope, or born out of any other motive that would completely undermine justice. Any attempt to forcibly displace Palestinians inside their occupied land or outside of this occupied land is a war crime according to the Fourth Geneva Convention of 1949 and its protocol of 1977. Any attempt to export this crisis that is made by the occupation, that is aggravated by the occupation, that will only end with the end of the occupation, any forced displacement to neighboring countries, we will confront these attempts. Ladies and gentlemen, 6,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed. Those have faces, have memories, have loved ones. 200,000 homes were destroyed. 200 schools in Gaza turned into rubble. Hospitals, schools, places of worship were bombarded. To target civilians taking shelter in those buildings, not for self-defense. We will not allow for fury, for anger, for pain to determine our future. That will only beget more fury, more pain. Israel will enjoy security when Palestinians enjoy security. How many wars have we seen? How many civilians have paid the price? And where we are today, in the midst of another hell of a war that portends grave repercussions for our region. Ladies and gentlemen, only the just peace would secure Israel's and Palestine's security. Wrong are those who promote the possibility of achieving peace by ignoring the Palestinian people. The crisis has become deeper because there are no prospects for ending occupation. There are some in the Israeli leadership that are destroying the prospect of the two-state solution. Some are calling for wiping the Palestinian people out of the face of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the Security Council should adopt a resolution for ceasefire and to stop the war. The Security Council should adopt a resolution to condemn the killing of the Palestinians, of civilians on both sides, to prevent starving Palestinians, to prevent collective punishment. The Security Council must take a clear stance that reassure 2 billion Arabs and Muslims that international law will be applied. Let's work together to ensure that this is the last war on Gaza, the last violence in Palestine and Israel, the last instance of demonizing Palestinians, the last tears of mothers over the futile death of their children. Let's work together to go back to a true peace process, to serious negotiations based on international law, based on Security Council resolutions that remain ink on paper, to end the occupation, to achieve comprehensive, durable, just peace on the basis of the two-state resolution within a set time frame with international guarantees. Peace for the Palestinians, peace for the Israelis, peace for the whole region. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves in the same situation we've been in for years. Year after year, we are talking without any action on the ground to achieve peace. Innocent civilians are being killed. Hope is being dissipated, and the credibility of the United Nations is being eroded. The value of international peace is reduced. This council must champion the law and justice and humanity, or it says Israel has the right to do what any other country has not the right to do, and the Palestinian people do not enjoy the same rights as any other people. The war would become even more ferocious. It is up to you. The whole world will benefit if the Security Council championed justice and peace. Or the Council would bear the responsibility of this war, of depriving a whole people of the right to live like all other peoples of the world, live in security, liberty, independence on their land, on the land of Palestine, on the land of the ancestors. I thank you for your attention. May the blessings of God be upon you.